Okay, I'm not sure what happened with that last recording. It cut off what I was talking about on this slide, so we'll pick up where we left off. And we were talking about the future trends of behavioral health and what we expect to see. So one thing we can anticipate to see coming down from a governmental, that federal level, and even to some extent the state level as well, are stricter regulations focusing in on behavioral and mental health. Stressing that importance, like the title of the lecture today, putting it back in the spotlight and stressing how important it is to start solving and working towards solving these behavioral and mental health issues that we're seeing. Another thing that we're starting to see in terms of trends for behavioral health is working to destigmatize behavioral health and mental health. So we talked a lot about at the beginning of the class the stigmas that surround mental health, why those exist, and now it's our job as leaders, as administrators. I know not all of us are going to work in hospitals. Some of us may work in this community outreach piece. So how do you, as from an administrator perspective, start to craft and create programs for community outreach that work towards destigmatizing behavioral health? How can you partner with local organizations to get people to come in to start seeking care and start seeking services for behavioral and mental health issues? Now, the last one we're seeing, one of the major ones anyway, and we'll talk more about technology during our technology lecture, but we're starting to see a big trend in utilizing technology for behavioral and mental health sessions. So we see a lot of telehealth. I saw an app the other day that you can download on your phone, and you can speak to somebody through that app for counseling. We have video conferencing, these virtual patient provider visits. But the thing I want you to think about is the demographic that exists in our country right now and how we kind of tiptoe into both of those worlds that we're living in. So we have a demographic of our baby boomer population, and then we have the demographic of our millennials. So millennials, we know, use a lot of technology. They're very technologically advanced. Baby boomers, you may see a little bit more resistance there. But when we think about how to tailor this, the important thing from a leadership perspective and an administrative perspective is to think, who is going to be your target audience? So we know that, like I said, we know that the baby boomers are retiring and that they're not going to be so apt to go to technology for this issue like people of a younger generation may feel more comfortable doing. So how do we kind of live in both of those worlds and provide services that's going to cover both of those different population subsections? So just to kind of sum up a couple key points that I hope we got across throughout this lecture, just understanding the severe situation that we're in with behavioral and mental health in this country, and in terms of it being a huge public health issue. So it leads to a lot of other issues. You know, we said when we were talking about the history of public health that many have blamed the deinstitutionalization of people with mental health issues in the 50s and 60s on our homeless population now. That's a huge public health issue because we know about communicable diseases across a homeless population, so it's a systemic effect into other areas of public health. So it's a pretty big issue that for whatever reason we're not really giving enough attention and focus to. But hopefully now through the ACA and any new healthcare acts that come out from here forward, we're going to continue to have more of that focus on behavioral health issues and how we start to work to treat them, how we start doing this community engagement and outreach piece and start getting people to, destigmatize those stigmas that exist around mental health and how we start to engage people in conversations about them. Another point I hope that we got across and I hope that you guys picked up on is as we change our delivery methods of healthcare, as we move towards a more technologically advanced society, behavioral health is going to have to fall in line as well. So we start seeing the creation, like I said, of these different apps I found on my phone the other day that you can download onto your phone, and you can talk to a counselor about any issues that you're having. So you have you know, that you have a virtual face-to-face, for lack of a better term, connection with somebody, but how do you balance that with our two main demographics that we know exist in the country right now? And then for those of you that are going to find yourself practicing in more rural and underserved populations, you know, the issues that are going to exist there, knowing that, you know, half of the U.S. rural counties don't even have a mental health facility in the county. And we know, you know, the technological issues that exist in these types of geographic areas. So how do we work around those different types of issues? Guys, hope you enjoyed the lecture. If you have any questions, we'll catch up at the next class. So be thinking. Get ready for our next guest speaker, Miss Rachel Hicks, who's going to be coming to talk about behavioral mental health issues as well as substance abuse issues. And we'll see you all next time.